famous quote by Nelson Mandela: compassion binds us to one another, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. Hi, my name is Mike Gavarici. I'm your host for this program called America Arbor of Hope. Today is our sixth episode of an acronym I came up a few years ago about America. Today we are covering letter C. It stands for compassion. And without further ado, I want to introduce my guest, Dr. Mark Finney, Director of World Relief here in Spokane. And I want to welcome him here to our studio here. But before I turn the microphone to him, I want to go over the definition of compassion, and then we pass it on to you. What does compassion mean? It means sympathetic pity and concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. According to Wikipedia, compassion motivates people to go out of their way to help physical, spiritual, or emotional hurts or pains of other human beings, like what you do. The word in both Latin and Greek mean to suffer with. Compassion usually involves some commitment to help. Qualities of compassion are patience and wisdom, kindness and perseverance, warmth and resolve. Simple example of it is open the door for someone, share a hug or handshake, or during this COVID pandemic, wear a mask, keep your distance, help another human being to stay safe and healthy. With that, I want to thank you for being here. And if you don't mind, Dr. Finney, please tell us what your organization does, and how does compassion plays a role in whatever you do on a daily basis.
Super. Well, thank you so much, Mike. It's really an honor to be here, be part of this conversation, and I just have a tremendous respect for you and your journey and your story. And I also really appreciate your desire to take this vision that you have of what makes America this amazing place that it is, and to share it, and to encourage others to consider it as well. So thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
I get to work at World Relief, which is a wonderful place to work. We're an international organization with offices in 17 or 18 different countries, but our headquarters is here in the U.S., and we also have about 18 offices here in the United States, including one in Spokane, where I'm the executive director. And we primarily help refugees, but we also serve other types of immigrants. So the way that works is the United States government has a program where they identify the most vulnerable refugees around the world, and they subject them to a big screening process. And eventually, if they get the clearance, then they come to various cities around the country. And whenever somebody comes to Spokane, the State Department tells us, hey, in 2 weeks, there's going to be a family of 5 coming from the Congo or something. And so then we start getting ready. And once they get here, we help them with what they need to get started, help them find their first apartment, get their kids enrolled in the public schools, help if mom and dad don't speak English yet, we get them in English classes. So we do all that kind of stuff to get their feet on them, under them, help them find jobs, and eventually help people access, after 5 years, people can become citizens, and we walk them through that legal process as well. So that's kind of what we do, but compassion really gets to why. And I think there's some compassion inside of me that motivates me, but probably I'm most inspired by the compassion I see in others, in the other staff members I get to work with. And, we have about 30 or 40 staff members, but we have 300 or 400 volunteers. And it's one thing when it's your job. It's another thing when you volunteer your time entirely. And so I really, I get to be immersed in compassion, around people full of compassion every day long, and it's wonderful.
Well, it is. I think without compassion, again, I don't think, you could have done, or, your group, can do this, because is helping, another human being where they are not by choice, leaving their home country, like maybe, some right now, Afghanis that they
Right.
are waiting, to leave, and they are being persecuted, and, they are
Right.
being killed on a daily basis, as and there is, we have to help them. There
Right.
is,
Absolutely.
and so yeah, it's a very uh, just a few. I think it was a week last week. I participated, at this funeral for someone. Actually, he passed away. He lived, most of his life here, and as I learned, I got to know him 5 years ago or so, and I got to know him that how helpful wherever he could, he did, help, those they were needed, and both, here and, internationally, and which is, is America part of, again, this is for people like me, where we come from a different part of the planet, to uh, express who Americans are. And I believe, this is, is not being represented to the best of, what we, our politicians, and our government, could have done to show the rest of the world, how compassionate, how great, how kind Americans are, and and I think, this needs to be, magnified, and, expressed more, that, who we are in America. And is so with that, I want to just, if you have anything else, to you want to say. If not, I end up, with another quote, and is so it is. This quote is a famous quote by Ronald Reagan. Our country is great because it is built on principles of self-reliance, opportunity, innovation, and compassion for others. With that, I thank you very much again, for being here, and thank you for, watching. And we have, one more episode, which hopefully we will get it done in next week or so. Until then, thank you.